Well, after my tractor gelled mid-plow, I not only fixed the problem, but I changed how I prepare for wintertime cold weather. We are currently in the single digits. It's actually 0 degrees with a minus wind chill factor, somewhere between 10 and 20 degrees right now. It's actually super windy outside, too windy to film outside, so I'm filming here in the big building. But we're going to do some plowing today. I want to talk to you about how I got the tractor and my other equipment ready for the sub-zero temperatures so that I never have the issue I had last video. After my diesel tractor gelled during that 2-foot snowstorm, I had two choices: chalk it up as bad luck or change my prep so it doesn't happen again. This video isn't about that failure. It's about what I do differently now before the extreme cold, especially when I know I'll be away and the equipment has to be reliable. What I didn't mention in the previous video was that I had to get that done in a hurry because I was actually leaving to go on a work trip to California, and I was going to be away for 7 days. So not only did I need to get the driveway plowed out, but I couldn't leave the tractor there blocking the garage because Jennifer and Mackenzie wouldn't have had access to get the vehicles out of the garage. So I really was in a pickle there trying to get this tractor started up and moved in the middle of a huge snowstorm with a deadline approaching. So the biggest lesson from the last video about the fuel gelling mid-plow might have been how I quickly recovered. But the biggest lesson in this video is how I should have prepared and how I am prepared now for these really cold weather days when I need to be using a diesel tractor outside in the cold. So here's what I had before my tractor had my fuel gel incident. I had the heat diesel winter treatment, I had the K100 all-in-one diesel fuel treatment, and I had a brand new fuel filter. But having all those things did me no good. None of that fuel treatment was in the tank, and I hadn't replaced the filter. Now, I had a lot of comments in that last video that the filter was dirty and that was my problem. That filter actually didn't have that many hours on it. I'm going to say 30 to 40 hours were on that filter because I changed it out when I had changed the oil in a previous video about maintaining this tractor. So there weren't a ton of hours, but yes, diesel fuel filters do look dirty pretty quickly. So they start out that nice reddish color, but usually in my case, I noticed in about 20 to 30 hours, they have a darker color to them. Now, maybe that means my fuel is just really dirty, I'm not sure, but in my experience, that's very typical for the filter to change color like that over just a little bit of time. So here's the difference now. I have some more prep materials, and we're going to talk through all of these in today's video, but the difference is there's already stuff in the tank now. I've got the K100 in the tank, I've got the diesel winterization additives in the tank, I've got diesel 911 on hand in case I need it. I bought another fuel filter, so I have a brand new fresh one here. I actually bought 3 of them. They're not that expensive. It's cheap insurance. So this is what I have on hand now, and it's already in the system. Heat in the system, K100 in the system. Now I haven't put any of this diesel fuel supplement in the system yet because I've already got those other 2 products. We just put the new fuel filter in a little over a week ago, and I've got the 911 on hand for any emergency that would pop up, even with the use of these other additives and preventative measures. So the K100 diesel fuel supplement is actually something I started using earlier in 2025. Now, I probably wasn't using it at the right dosage for wintertime because there is a different mix ratio if you're using it for the wintertime compared to in the summertime. But let's talk a little bit about what the K100 does and why I like it in diesel equipment like our mini excavator and the John Deere tractor. Now, I actually bought this K100 for the mini excavator, and the reason is it is a multi-purpose anti-gel and water control stabilizer product. It's non-alcohol based, it's safe for continuous ongoing use, and it helps prevent both gelling and water-related freeze issues. This is what I now use all year long and before the cold hits in the higher mix ratio. So if we look here on the back, warm weather, 32 ounce treats 250 gallons, cold weather, 32 ounce treats 125 gallons. So you're using double the amount mixed in the cold weather as you do in the summertime. All-in-one fuel treatment, trucks, buses, farm, excavating equipment, marine, generators, diesel engines. Replaces lubricity for LSD and ULSD. Dissolves sludge, stabilizes fuel for up to 2 years. Reduces downtime and maintenance costs. Increased cetane. Now remember, the K100 was all I had in addition to the heat previously to put into the fuel. I hadn't done it before I froze up, but I did put the K100 straight into the fuel filter when I replaced it and had some in that fuel bowl so that it would pump through the system faster. This heat diesel winter treatment was actually something I had left over from the Power Stroke diesel F350. Back when we had the diesel F350, I actually did have fuel line freeze up happen in that truck a couple times when it would sit for a week or so in really cold temperatures. So I started using this in the wintertime in that truck. Now that we have the 7.3 Godzilla F350, obviously this isn't the right fuel treatment, but I do put dry gas or fuel stabilizer for the wintertime in that truck also. Now, even though I used the K100 and the heat when my tractor gelled up last time, these are actually preventative supplies, not emergency supplies. So I use them in an emergency, but they're designed to be preventative. This was probably the biggest thing that saved me the last time, was having an extra fuel filter on hand. I actually was plowing on a day that the John Deere dealership was not open. We were getting so much snow, and I had, thankfully, one of these on hand. Being able to put the brand new fuel filter into the fuel bowl and treat it with the K100 was a huge lifesaver to get this tractor going faster. That's part of what made it be able to restart. So I picked up 3 more of these. I'm going to change these out more often because maybe you guys are right. Maybe that filter was too dirty even after 30 or 40 hours, and it made the fuel gel up on it faster. Obviously, the better the fuel can flow through the filter, the less chance that the gel will clog up the system. You don't want that fuel to gel up in the first place, but once it starts crystallizing, the crystals will get hung up in a filter first before the lines. And again, I'll put a link to this. I'll put a link to all these products down below, Amazon links. But this filter for our John Deere 2210 is a CH15553. These are not that expensive. Like I said, 11 or 12 bucks, I believe, at the John Deere dealership. But I'll put the Amazon link down below also if you need to buy it off of Amazon. Always support your local dealers and stores when you can. I also want to note, I only recommend the OEM products. This is an OEM John Deere fuel filter. The filters typically gel first. They're cheap insurance, and one frozen filter can shut down your perfectly good engine. If the filter plugs, you're done. Let me show you what this looks like when it's brand new. So here's what they look like when they're brand new. They do have that orangish color to them. The hole is in the top on the 2210. When you're putting it in, the hole goes up, and the bottom is just at the bottom of the bowl. Now, some newer tractors, that diesel fuel bowl actually has a float ring in it, which will show you where the water level is in that fuel bowl. And you want to watch that ring to see as it rises up. It means you've got water in your system. You need to drain that out so you're not collecting that water, which can freeze even faster than the diesel fuel. Our 2210 does not have that little ring that floats, but you can still kind of see, if you look in there, the separation between the water and the fuel. Just keep your eye on that and make sure you're not getting water in the bottom of that. It's good to dump that out so that water doesn't freeze up at the bottom of the fuel bowl. Now I have all these things on my hood, and you're probably thinking, look at all that stuff. Well, this is nothing. If you walk into a parts store like Napa, you'll see hundreds of gasoline and diesel fuel additives, anti-gel, water treatment, cetane boosters, emergency recover, all kinds of options. And I want to be really clear here. I'm not an expert on all of them. There are other channels that have done extensive testing on all these additives and supplements. I just know these are the things that I've chosen to keep here on hand to use. Again, not an expert on them, just my personal decisions on what I'm using in my tractor. And I also want to be clear here, I'm not claiming there's only one right product. And I definitely believe prevention is better than recovery when it comes to something like this. If you guys have products that you've used and recommend, leave those comments down below. I know in the last video, a lot of people commented about the Diesel 911, and we're going to talk about that in this video. People also mentioned mixing kerosene in with their diesel fuel. I've never done that. I get my diesel fuel from the off-road diesel pump Maybe it's a good idea to mix it together. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not an expert on mixing kerosene and diesel and the ratios and stuff like that. I usually just use what comes out of the pump with, in my case, typically the K100 additive. Now, like I said, I actually picked this up at the Napa store, the Diesel 911, and this was recommended in a lot of the comments down below the previous video. But I want to make a couple statements about this 911 product. This is an emergency recovery product. This is not a use it all the time thing. I equate this to a fire extinguisher. Great to have on hand for an emergency, but not something you want to be using all the time. This is not preventative. This is only in an extreme case where you're really trying to get yourself out of a real bind. This Diesel 911 is an emergency recovery product. It's designed to re-liquefy gelled fuel. It works fast, and it's very effective in breaking down that gelled diesel. What it is not is a preventative. It is not meant for continuous use. In fact, it's not recommended for continuous use. This Diesel 911 uses really strong solvents and alcohols. And the problem with those solvents and alcohols is that they can reduce fuel lubricity and be harder on seals if it's overused. So again, for occasional or emergency use, this red bottle, the 911, is generally considered safe, but it is not at all recommended for continuous or regular use. I guess another analogy could be, this is like jump starting your vehicle. Absolutely a great thing to have for when you need it, but not something you want to be doing every single day. Prevention is better than recovery. Another thing I wanted to mention is block heaters, external heaters, things like that. Those are also really good ideas to help heat up that engine. Or if you're in an emergency like I was the last time, the little buddy heater underneath served its purpose of heating things up so I could get the tractor started and running. But again, these are things that are helpful, but they won't always solve the problem. Because again, the tractor may be in a heated building. This is not a heated building, but it might be stored in a heated building and have a block heater on it and be nice and warm. When it backs out into that cold, all of a sudden that fuel absolutely will gel up even if the tractor's already been warm. Heat will absolutely help recovery, but fuel treatment prevents the problem. Now let's just talk briefly here about gasoline tractors like our Ford 8N and the Ford Workmaster. You're not going to have diesel fuel gelling problems with a gasoline tractor. But gasoline systems also can suffer from fuel line freeze-up. So preventative treatment in the fuel is also really important on a gas tractor, because just like the diesel tractor, you can stop mid-plow, mid-work, out in the middle of the snow and be frozen up. And then you're trying to figure out how to get that tractor restarted, how to get those fuel lines warmed up so that the fuel flows. Again, prevention is key in both a gasoline and a diesel tractor or equipment engine. In a gasoline tractor like our Ford 8N, the issues that happen are any moisture in the fuel becomes ice in the fuel lines. It can cause carburetor icing, and then there's also condensation from temperature swings that creates the moisture in the fuel that causes that fuel line freeze up in the middle of winter time. So thinking about an antique tractor like our Ford 8N and the Ford Workmaster, is dry gas safe? Well, generally it's considered safe, but the older engines weren't made like the new engines are. So you really want to be cautious in the dry gas use. You don't want to oversaturate the fuel with that additive. Use only the blend as required. Now remember, those bottles of dry gas are sometimes recommended to treat like 25 gallons. So if you're putting it in a 5-gallon jug, just use the right amount for 5 gallons of gas. Again, don't overuse dry gas in those antique engines. Since these are carbureted, simple fuel systems, use that dry gas sparingly. When you're choosing a dry gas, isopropyl-based is preferred over methanol when possible. I'm not dumping it in every tank, just enough to deal with moisture during extreme cold. So whether you're thinking about a diesel tractor or a gas tractor, they both can have dead of winter freezing issues or gelling issues. So you want to make sure you pre-treat that fuel and are ready for those cold temperatures. When I shot that last video, I thought I was shooting a plowing a 24 inches of snow video. It ended up being B-roll for my tractor gelled mid-plowing video. And I think the key there is I wasn't prepared for this winter cold. I was prepared to go out there and plow snow. I wasn't prepared for my tractor to stop running on me. So lessons learned. I now have myself a winter prep checklist. Make sure you have the right fuel additives on hand, both gasoline and diesel. Make sure you put them in the system before it gets cold. I'm talking in the fall because you never know when the cold day is going to happen and you could have this issue. Treat your 5-gallon cans, treat your big jugs, your 30-gallon cans, treat your big tanks, all that you want to treat before wintertime so you don't have problems. Prevention is better than recovery. You also want to get your treated fuel into the system and run through the system. So putting it in the tank and then leaving it sit there is not enough. You need to run the tractor or the excavator or the bobcat to get that fuel that's treated run through the lines and through the system. It's a good idea to change those filters out regularly, and then before wintertime, make sure you've got a good clean one in there. Also, make sure the bottom of that fuel bowl is not full of water that's going to freeze up on you. It's a good idea to have some of these filters on hand as spares. Keep the emergency use products like the Diesel 911 on hand, but these are, again, not for regular use. If you run equipment in the wintertime, drop a comment down below. What systems do you use to keep from freezing up? A lot of people left comments in that last video, which I will link up above and down below in the description. Lots of helpful tips in there. Those of you who mix kerosene and diesel, I'd like to learn more about that. Is that a recommended process? I don't know that much about it, so leave those comments down below too. All right, now we have more snow. We kept getting more snow on top of that 24-inch snow event. I've got to get this tractor out there because I can no longer get to my firewood supplies with the side-by-side or the Ford tractor. I'm going to see if I can use this plow to clear myself a path to get up into the firewood stock. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative and entertaining, give us a big thumbs up. Leave those comments down below. What do you use for wintertime preparation in both your gas antique tractors? And then if you've got diesel equipment like our John Deere tractor or the Mini X or a skid steer, leave those comments also how you prepare for wintertime. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll see you again the next time. One last cold weather tip. When it's this cold out, you can't just start your tractor up, back it out and start using it. You want to let everything warm up. Let the hydraulic pump warm up. Let that hydraulic fluid warm up. Really important, especially when you're using the front end loader or an angle plow like we have. You've got to get that hydraulic fluid warmed up. You don't want to be pumping that freezing cold fluid through everything. Let your tractor run. It's going to take a little bit more fuel. It's going to take some time to warm up, but that's super important in these really cold temperatures. Now let's see if this thing will start up. I make the glow plug work by leaving it in gear, turning my key. That makes the glow plugs work without the tractor trying to start at first. I do it a couple times, 2-3 times, just to get things warmed up. Then put it back in neutral. Let's see if she starts. Probably see a lot of smoke. Yeah, it's very cold.